Good evening, good afternoon, good wherever you are in the world. I'm Kalori Cuddles, and we are going to try the MS Paint Challenge again, using only this selection of colors right here. Only this time we're not going hard mode. We are going to actually be able to blend and whatnot, as long as I use these colors right here. And we're just going to color over those once we're done. So here's the original image, and here is it black and white. So we're going to get on started with this challenge. So yeah, I guess I'm going to start with the skin. Select all things that are her skin. Dang it, one of my lines is not connected. That is a very go-to with me not completing my lines, so not a shocker. I get in a rush when I'm drawing my lines because since I don't have a tablet and I'm doing everything with a mouse and keyboard, I tend to not always connect my lines. So, alright, so we are going to use this lilac color here, but I'm probably going to lower this to 70%. Yeah, that looks generally what I go for, period. So, very close to accurate. Now we're going to take this violet color, and that's where we're going to start our shading. So let's open up our brushes. Let's select a size, and let's zoom on in and start shading her face. I'm going to go ahead and lower this down to 60. That first challenge with this, where I didn't lower any of the opacity, was, or opaqueness, was quite rough. Quite rough. So, we're going to blur this out and then take the smudge tool to further that, what we just did here, mostly to take it back onto touching the black line. Up into the hairline. Let's lower this a little because it's a little on the obnoxiously big side. Alright, we're gonna lower this down. We're gonna do another one where it's a little more blown out, if that makes sense. Just up against the hair, so we're gonna do this, and well, let's try motion blurring it. Alright, yeah, let's lower this down. Alright, so let's do her hands and her legs, which won't require that much depth. We're gonna zoom in and pull this back into the black line. Ugh, I'm zooming in too much here. Alright, and let us lower this down. It's real, real nice. We're gonna grab that lilac color again. And we're gonna lower this down to 50%, lay it on top. And I don't think I want to overlay it. No, I think I'll just go with normal and then lower this down. Yeah, I really like that. I'm going to go ahead and do her eyes because I want to color her cheeks as well. So let's take us some white. Raise this back up to 100 and we're going to zoom in and color this eye part white. Because now we're going to grab this red color. Maybe I'll take this darker red. And we're going to make another layer and we're just going to draw on a little thing like this. I could try pink. It's just, I feel like it's not going to be as vibrant since this is more of a light pink. But I feel like that red's way too dark. I mean, yeah, I know I can lower how much pigment of that is there. So I'm just going to lower this to currently 80. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go like this. That was probably a little too big. I'm going to go just like that. Just like that. Alright, so now we're going to do her hair. Every time I do my original character here, little Kalari, I always do either her hair first or her skin first, but it's generally those two. Alright, so we're going to take this bright blue here. Definitely keep that at 50. Let me see. Maybe a little higher. Let's do 70. Okay, a little lower. Try 65. Let's just compare what 60 looks like. I think I like 60 better. Alright, so we're going to take this darker color here, which is like a purpley, whatever you want to call it. Gonna lower it down to 60. It is blindingly bright, so we do not want to use its full color. If you remember from the last video, it was quite bright. That's a little more tolerable than what it was before. Alright, now I'm going to take the smudge tool and I am going to pull this up. That's how I give kind of my harshness, you could say, to my lines. And I used this before I actually even blur it, so... I know it sounds silly, normally I blur it, but I feel like I like this method better. It looks more what I go for. Woo! I wasn't going for that. That, I've decided I wanted to try more harsh lines with my character. So we'll see how this goes. There's no actual like rhyme or reason of how I'm doing this. It's more of a aesthetic to what I find pleasing. So to you, it might look like a bunch of scribbly squabbly, and you're probably sitting here going, Kalari, what the fuck are you doing? That's okay. This is the part where you can say art's you know, what you make it. So I'm gonna raise this up a little bit to do this part. Alright, so now I'm actually gonna blur it. And then I'm gonna blur it some more. Just do like that. I'm gonna lower this down. I might actually duplicate this layer and like maybe color burn it or something like that. I'm just gonna test it out, see what that looks like. I think if I did that, I would have to actually blur this a lot more because I don't like how in your face that is. Maybe like that. Yeah, I'm not too mad at that. Alright, I'm going to use this light blue. I already have it selected. This was left over from the last time I used this, but just to double check that I'm using the right blue, I'll go ahead and just select it anyway. I'm going to add highlights to the hair. So, let's bring this back up to like 80. Now I can tell you with my highlighting, I generally only use it with the bangs. Or what I classify as the bangs. And this, I literally take the peaks and the dips and streak them up. So how I'm doing here, that's literally what I'm doing. So that's all you have to do. And then I generally use it as color dodge. So I'm going to color dodge it and then lower it. And then I'm going to take that bright blue color again. Actually, this is where I do create a duplicate. So I'll create a duplicate, I'll raise this one up, and I'll just do overlay. Alright, so I'm going to make another layer, and I am actually going to paint it with this light, or not light blue, this bright blue again. But I'm going to lower it down to 50, do like so, and I'm going to drop this, and we are going to, let's see if I like it on overlay. Nope, not overlay. Color. Actually, I like it on color, so let's do that, and then lower this down, and then boom, we have her hair. Just the way I want it to look. So we will flatten this, and now we will color her eye, which her eye is a nice, why are you only selecting that? Is her eye not all the way connected? Oh, I think it's because I have this. Okay, there we go. It was just all the way up, so a little too on the high end. So we're going to take this bright green and we're going to make that the base. So let's make it at 80. Let's drop that in her eye. We're going to take this green color, but also the yellow at the same time. We're going to go in, drop this at 70. Let's pull our brushes back up and let's zoom in and color that in. And then we're also going to go in with the yellow, just like so. And then we are going to blur those together. Apparently, I didn't do that correctly. So let's actually, it's supposed to be its own layer. Let's try that one more time. Because I was like, why did it turn white like that? Because I didn't do it right. Now let's do this. Alright, we're going to take this and... Okay, and another layer of I wanted the dark green. Alright, and let's blur that out. Let's do a motion blur. And let's take this blue color here and one of our crazy brushes. I don't know why I opened that up when I have it open up here. Alright, so yeah, let's take this here, one of our crazy brushes. I gotta find a brush I like. That's what I'm doing here ultimately right now. I think a lightning one might work. Alright, let's color burn that and lower this down. And do another layer of that as well. Color burn it again. Oh, that's linear. Alright, and then we're gonna take just white, create another layer. We're gonna zoom in with the brush. We're gonna color dodge that and lower it down. And that's gonna be our eye shape, or our eye color, or whatever. And we're gonna undo that, and we're now gonna select black because we're gonna bring that eye to life. And lower this down to 50%. And what I always do, I trace from this to this end, so it'll look something like that. But I got it on the hair, so I need to lower the brush size, so we're gonna try 7. And then all of this gets colored in. And then we just lower this down here. That makes that shadow on the eye. And this is so far the MS Paint Challenge using only these colors. I'm going to make this a two-parter since this is becoming quite a lengthy video, so stay tuned and watch part 2 of me coloring this, where we start coloring her clothing and whatnot. Thanks for watching, stay cuddly, and see you in the next adventure.